Okay. Welcome. We will discuss today inverse. Inverse, the concept inverse, okay, the concept in opposites, inverse, reciprocal, and inverse function are related but distinct. Let's break down and visualize their relationship. The opposite of a number or a function refers to negative it. For example, if I say A, its opposite is what? Minus A. Very good. Okay. So the opposite here is what? Minus A. For a function, f of x, the opposite is minus f of x. Okay. For example, if I say f of x equal to x plus 3, the opposite is going to be the negative A outside. So I put negative outside, correct? And then you multiply the negative again inside distribution, and that should give you what? Negative 2x, negative 3. Okay, that's opposite. I didn't touch it to the inverse. Now let's go for the inverse. The reciprocal of a number 1 over a, assuming a does not equal 0. For example, f of x, the reciprocal is 1 over f of x, assuming f of x does not equal 0. For example, f of x equal 2x plus 3. The reciprocal is going to be 1 over f of x equal 1 over 2x plus 3. That's a reciprocal. Okay. All right. Now we're going to go to the inverse. Okay. It's a little bit different, but it's still the same thing. An inverse function reverses the input output relationship of a function. If f of x maps x to y, then f of if I have 2 f of x equal 2x plus 3. تمام. الانفرس هنا بص بقى, it's a little bit different. Here, remember, this is a to the power, okay? F of negative 1 of x equal what? X minus 3 over 2. How did you get this? That's what we're going to learn today. We have 4 steps, correct, okay? An inverse function reverses the input-output relationship of original function. If the original function is f of x, the inverse is f of negative 1 of x. It means the power, yeah. Rule: for the function to have an inverse, it must be 1 to 1. Each x maps to only one y, and each y maps to only one x. Type, how can I know? From the graph. You have different ways. If you have a graph and you make horizontal line test, if it cuts the graph in one point, that means you have an inverse function type. What about if you have an equation? Then we have to solve the equation, okay, with the other equation. They give you f and they give you g, and they say, is g, little g, is inverse of f? Then you have to take g and do something with it, with f, and if the results equal x, that means it is inverse of f. The g is inverse of f. So we have more than 2 cases. The first case is graphing. Horizontal line test cuts a graph in one point, then you have inverse. If you have 2 equations and he's asking you what is this, g is inverse of f, then we have to do some calculation, put them together. Okay, I will show you the steps. If the results equal to x, that's inverse. G is inverse of f. Type. What if he give you f of x and he say, please find the inverse? Then we have 4 steps, just like you said, 4 steps. Who said 4 steps? You? Okay, so these 4 steps we have to follow to get the inverse. What if he give you table? Very easy. All you have to do is what? Swap. replace x, y. That's it. So how many cases we have? How many? The graph, the give you two equation, or he give you one equation, and the table. I can't remember if there's anything else more. Okay, so let's start with the easy one. Okay, table easy. Okay, no problem. We use table. Okay, so here he said here inverse using table. Let's use f of x equal to x plus 3, and he put here the values, right? Yeah. Those are the values. X, how much? 0, 1, 2. If you put 0 here, how much is y? 3. If you put 1, 5. If you put 2, 7. I said here, find the inverse table, reverse the columns. So the input become, yes, swap it. So this become 3, 5, 7, and this becomes 0, 1, 2. Easy as easy? Beautiful? Beautiful? Beautiful. So that's it. That's for the table. What's the second one? Is equation. Give you one equation. Like for this one, he said f of x equal to x plus 3. So first step, number 1. What's the first step? Read the first step.
Replace x with y.
Very good. So let me put this down and we can see it together now. So I'm going to replace f of x by y. That's the first thing you're going to do. So it's going to be equal, what is going to be y equal what?
2x plus 3y.
Bravo Ali, bravo. Tamam. 2x plus 3. Yes. Okay. Very good. So sometimes I make mistakes, you know. So you can, you know, it's okay to tell me. I'm not gonna get offended or anything. Number 2, step 2, please. Can you read?
Step 2, swap x and y.
Swap x and y. Every time you see y, replace it with what? Every time you see x, replace it with what? Y. So here I have y. I'll make it x, and x become what? Y. Yes, thank you, thank you. I'm sorry. I make some mistakes. Please forgive me. Okay. All right. Next one. Solve for y. So I need to solve for y. So it's going to be what?
X minus 3 divided by 2.
I move the 2, 3 to the other side. So x minus 3 equal to y. And then divide by 2. And your answer is y equal x minus 3 over 2. Now, the last step, replace, rewrite it using what? Y. F of minus 1. So take y and write f of minus 1 of x equal x minus 3 over 2. Easy as easy? Yes. Because if you leave it like this, then you almost there, but you didn't finish it. Yep. Okay. Yeah, we didn't finish it. So how many steps do you have to do?
4.
What are the 4 steps?
Replace swap, solve, and
if you want to be a good student, then you bring index card, okay, and then you write the steps there. Step 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, and a small index card, and in the top write down inverse, and then write all this. How many steps? How many different topics? 4. Okay, then write in one index card all these 4 topics, okay, in inverse. That will make it easy for you to review for the test, for the final exam. Okay. What else? So we finish with the equation. Okay, example, find the inverse of the equation. I'll just put here equation. Okay. Now the second one is the table. We finished with the table. Now the third one is the graph. Yes. So what is the function here for the graph?
2x plus 3.
2x plus 3. He's asking you to graph 2x plus 3. Type. How can we graph this? Reflect each point across the line y of x. So you know how to graph it, right? I give you the software. Do you remember the software? What was the software? Do you remember what's the name of the software? Yes, graphs. I give you the link, right? So all you have to do, either you use the graph software or you graph it by hand. Okay. So what's the equation? 2x plus 3, and then you click like this. Now, yes.
انا لما اجي اكتب الابسولوت فاليو في هنا ما يطلع لي الجراف ما يطلع لي ما ادري ليه. ما ادري.
A, B, S, and then you put X.
يعني الاختصار حقه كده.
Yes, لازم تتعلم اختصارات. Okay. All right. So now the question here: which one of these two has inverse?
Inverse. This one is linear because cut in one place.
Yes, you make a vertical, you make a horizontal line test,
It cuts it in one
and if it cuts it in one point, then you have inverse. So the absolute value doesn't have inverse, but this line 2x plus 3 has an inverse. Okay. So now, do you see the line?
Yes.
Now we need to get the inverse of that, right? So what should you do? All you have to do is what? Who can tell me?
We can solve it and
You go by the points. Okay. How many points you need?
How about the integers? The integers have inverse.
Let's see. Hold on. Okay. Calculate. Okay. So I got the x value and the y values. You swap those numbers, boom, and you graph it, and you get the answer.
we can also
You can also solve this equation and get the inverse, and then get the points for it. Okay. You can do two ways. You can do two ways.
بس and then if I do the calculation and the right without use
It's up, yeah, whatever you think it's correct for you and you feel comfortable doing it, you do it. Okay. I'm just gonna took a picture of that. What should I do now? Can I go to this one? So we have what here? We have the points, right? Insert. We're going to insert table and just put the points here. Okay. Those are the points. And what is the graph? This is the graph. Okay. So all you have to do is just what should I do with this point? Swap them. And then you graph it. And that's it. So the red one, I think the red one is the original one. The red one is yes. The red one. No, the blue one is the original one, and the red one is the opposite. And remember, you see the line here? That's equal the line of symmetry. Okay, line of symmetry. Okay, is this clear? So we have two ways to solve this. Here we're gonna swap, right? Swap y to what? To x. And then and then graph. That's the first method. Second method? What's the second method?
We can calculate
Yeah. مش calculate بقى. Find what?
find
The inverse,
the
yes.
inverse of the function.
Inverse of the function.
And
Then
we find the points.
Find the points. Find
Find the
x and y
and y points.
points, yes. Huh?
Then we draw.
Then graph it. And finally graph it. Is this clear?
Yeah.
So whatever method you use, it's up to you. Okay, so this is method one, and this is method 2. It's up to you. Decide which one you like more. Okay. Easy as easy.
Yes.
Any other questions? Yes? Okay. We have domain and range, right? So if he's giving you 2x plus 3 and he's giving you the domain and the range, what is the inverse of the domain and the range?
It's also
Yes, you reverse them.
range and range is
The range become the domain and the domain become the range. Easy as easy. Any questions?
But the inverse of 2 is the exponential function is logarithm function.
Yeah, you talk very high language now. Okay, very good. All right, so up to here is clear. Now let's go to the PowerPoint. Okay, where is PowerPoint? Where can I find the PowerPoint? In announcement. Okay, announcement. I need the PowerPoint. This one. Well, a third link. What if I go to the third link? What happened? Pre-calculus. It takes me directly to pre-calculus. Okay. So I go down here to
1.5.
1.5. I think 1.5. Analyze the graph. Finish.
Yes, and 1.6 is finished.
Okay. 1.6 finish.
1.7
Transition. Lower transformation. Finish. And
combination function and complexity.
this one, right? Inverse.
1.9.
Yes, inverse function, right? So we finish with all these PowerPoints. So far so good, right? See, it shows me a view only. So let me, what should I do here? Stop, right? And then share application is going to be the PowerPoint. So these are the PowerPoints. Let's go through them. One-to-one function. Okay, not all function have inverse. Remember that. Not all function has inverse. And it should be one-to-one using what? Horizontal line test. Okay. Every straight line is one-to-one function. Every parabola
Not 1.1.
is not one-to-one. Part of the parabola might be one-to-one function, like square root function is one-to-one. Every cubic function is one-to-one. Every rational function is one-to-one. Every absolute function is not one-to-one. Yes, we have 2 points. Horizontal line cuts it in 2 points. Okay,
But how
here
the quadratic function? Quadratic function is 2 points. Yes.
so that's not function. We don't have inverse for that, unless if you take part of it.
Part of it.
Okay. Here we said the domain. If you want to get the inverse for domain, you swap it with range, and the range become domain. See here, no inverse. Why no inverse? Because it cut in 2 points. Okay. Mobile, please. Next one, horizontal line test. We are done with this. Now, who can tell me the first graph has one-to-one?
Yes, one. Yes.
Yes.
Second one?
Yes.
Yes.
Third one?
No.
Fourth one?
No. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
But it's not a function.
But it's not a function, right? If it's not a function,
It is 1-to-1.
It's one.
if it's not a function, can it have inverse?
Not a function. Yes.
إذا كانت من function يجي لها عادي زي الفيرتيكال لاين.
زي quadratic.
الفيرتيكال لاين يجي لها.
Okay. The question is what? If is not a function, does it have inverse؟ نسأل السؤال. Okay. ده السؤال اللي احنا عايزين الإجابة بتاعته. How to know the function has inverse? A function. He didn't say not a function. The inverse function, okay, here we go. The inverse of this function is the same set point, but x. Read this.
This inverse has 2 points and share a common inverse بس not a function.
What is not function in Arabic?
غير جالة.
غير دالة.
غير دالة.
So the question here, if it's not a function,
It has inverse.
has inverse or not?
Has inverse.
If it's not a function. Okay, so I'll leave this.
اللي قبل شوي اللي على حرف B لكن على جنب. مو function.
Can non-function inverse exist? Both of you are saying that the inverse function does not exist if the function is not bijective. The fact that the inverse relation always exists does not change that all.
No, doesn't have inverse.
It doesn't have inverse. Okay.
أي دالة ليست دالة رتيبة تماما ليس لها معكوس.
Okay, so good. So we can write this here, right? In the in our document to have
No.
ناخذ مثال على على.
Okay, leave it for next class. Okay, you think about it and I will think about it and then we come with answer. You search it, inshallah. Okay, so the question comes here: if the equation is not a function, if the equation is not a function, does it have an inverse? That's the question. Okay, that's the question that we have to search for that. Okay,
You can ask ChatGPT.
I'll leave it to you, but okay, you asked that question to Mr. Chat. Okay, so we said yes, no, not a function. Then in this case, probably we don't have inverse for this. Okay, now let's go for the next one. Decide if a function is an inverse of the other function. I think this one I didn't give you, right? He said we have two functions, f and g are two functions such that f of g of x equal x and g of f of x equal x. Then g of x is the inverse of f of x. Wow. Can you give me an example, teacher? Yes, I can give you an example. F of x equal 3x minus 4 is the function g of x equal x minus 4 over 3 the inverse of f? Need to check both.
There is plus, there is plus and there is minus.
Okay, let's check. So one time I'm gonna put g inside f, and one time I'm gonna put f inside g. Okay, now I'm gonna come to the board here so we can see this clearly. Okay, so I'm gonna put g. What is g? X minus 4 over 3. I'll put it inside here. Okay, so you see, I put it inside. Now I have to multiply. When you multiply, you cancel what? 3 and 3. So what's left? X minus 4 minus 4. So x minus 4 minus 4 gives you x minus 8. Is this equal x? He said the condition, the result must equal x. So therefore, g of x is not an inverse of f of x. What if you get x? Then you have to do again one more time. You have to put f inside g. And if the result is x, then you say yes, g is an inverse of f of x. Clear?
Yes. But we can also calculate with y equals 3x minus 4 and we make it inverse. And
This one?
Yes, this one.
Yeah, okay. But
Yes.
But here the question, he's asking you to prove or to show if this is inverse of that. So you have to show him using that method.
But I can also do.
You want to use it other way? Okay, that's fine. It's up. Yeah, everybody have different method to solve. Okay, no problem. You can do that. Let's take another one. Ready?
Yeah.
Can you do this one on the paper? You have paper or you don't have paper?
Yes,
I have my
iPad, no problem. Here it said f of x equal what? 3x minus 4. It's the function h. It's not g. It's h equal x plus 4 over 3. Is the inverse of f? Is h is the inverse of f? That's the question. Now you can use your method or you can use the book method.
Yes, sir. So it's but do you have the?
Yes.
And, by the way, Mr.
Yes.
I solved my tech issue.
You solve what?
The tech issue when I opened it from my laptop, it's working.
It's PowerPoint.
Yeah, I can now go there.
You can download it and put it in the iPad.
Yeah, I downloaded it. Now I'm gonna send it to my iPad.
So I'm gonna replace what?
Replace
The whole thing here.
Yeah.
Put it inside what?
The
X. So you cancel the 3 with the 3. And you get x plus 4 minus 4 equal what?
X.
Because we cancel positive 4 minus 4. X. Are we done? No. One more step. We have to do the f goes inside G.
It's the same.
F goes inside H. I'm sorry. So you replace what? 3x minus 4 replace of x. Okay.
Mr. I don't know.
So I'm take this, put it here. So it's going to be 3x minus 4 plus 4
It will be
over
3x
3.
over 3.
Minus 4 cancel with 4. See? They cancel. And you get what? 3x over 3. Cancel the 3 with the 3. What do you get? X. So yes, it's okay. It's okay. Okay. Then we say h of x is inverse of f of x. يبقى احنا كده we learn how many methods? 4. He by table, by graph, by equation, by 2 equations. One is the inverse of that. That's it. And the last method. So it's 5 methods. Okay. So please, if you solve it, please write the answer. So I'm going to write here that how many methods do we have?
4.
Domain and range, 5 methods. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's correct. One.
The example. If I do my method and the book method, both, and then it's okay. So
Okay. we learn how to find the inverse with one equation, correct?
Yeah.
There is a video here, nice video. Please watch the video.
Now or
No, at home.
doctor,
Yes,
go to what room?
yes, go to the bathroom. And this is a graph, correct? Find the inverse of this. You know how to do it, right? For how many steps? 4 steps.
Can you do it?
Huh?
Can you give me an example for it?
Example here.
For the last thing.
This one.
Yes.
Here's example. Find the inverse. Okay, and then plug in points, and then you graph it.
Will be x squared plus 3, right?
This is the which one is the original one? This is the original one, right?
No.
Yes.
Yes.
No. This the original
The
one.
blue one is the original.
Yes.
The blue one is the original, okay, and this is the inverse, okay? Yes. Yes, go. Is this clear? Now,
Can I do it by drawing without method?
yeah, you can do it by points. Find the points here and then swap them. That's it.
I don't need to write that.
You don't need to write those. Okay. Now, after this, we have what? Classwork, right? What's the classwork? The practice, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't worry about this one, okay? So you have 5 here for homework practice, okay? So far so good. Let's take a break, 10 minutes, and then we come back.